It's working now.
All right. Hi, guys. So if you guys want to come sit on a right well, the kids, and come closer, because I'm going to have some things where it's going to be a little interactive. We're going to do some things, and I want you guys close so you can see. How are you guys? Good. Well, I'm Angela Kakabeeke, and I am author of this book, Whale Alert. And that's what I'm here to talk to you about today. How many of you like whales? Yeah? All right. I know you said you liked what type of whale?
Sperms.
Yes. And tell us what you liked about it.
I like that it can go the deepest of all whales.
Right. Amazing. Okay, what do you know about whales?
Nothing.
Nothing? Have you ever read any books about them? No? All right. Well, you'll learn a little bit about the North Atlantic right whale today. So, as an Earth detective, that's what I am, and I go around and I find ways to help take care of the Earth. And one of those ways is by taking care of our oceans and the things that are in it. And this is a right whale. We've lost the image of a right whale. But they swim along the coast of Massachusetts. So, where'd my map go? They're here. We're up here, and they swim all the way down to Florida. And then they come back up. And so, why do you think I want to talk about them? What's some, I want to tell you that they're endangered. Do you know what endangered means? What?
It means that there's not a lot of them.
There's not a lot of them. Hi, come on in, sit by a whale. A little black whale with a... So there's not a lot of them. Who can guess how many right whales there are?
500?
Less than 500. Anyone else want to take a guess?
400?
Yes, there's about 400 left. But guess how many there used to be?
Over 1,000?
Over 1,000. Tens of thousands, 50,000, and they would swim. They at one time said that you could go out in the bay, in the harbor of Boston, and there were so many you could walk across the backs of them. They were everywhere. And now there's only 400 left. So I'm going to read the story first, and then we're going to learn a little bit more about them, and we'll do some activities and talk more about them, okay? So you guys listen, and as I read, so you guys each, make sure everybody has a little right whale. Does everybody have one? And when I read and I say right whale, you hold it up. And if I say V-shaped spout, you hold this up. Because the North Atlantic right whale has a V-shaped spout. Do you guys know what that is?
It's basically when water comes out of a small hole from the whale, and it's sort of V-shaped.
Right.
Like that.
Exactly. So this is my stuffed animal right whale, and it's obviously much bigger than this. But a blowhole is on the top of a right whale, or on any whale is on the top. The right whale has two.
Is it even bigger than this room?
The right whale? Oh, we'll measure it, and you'll get to see how big it is. Yes?
Is it bigger than a school bus?
It's about as big as a school bus, but sometimes that's hard to visualize. But since we're talking about how big it is now, why don't we go ahead and measure it? You want to? Okay, I'm going to need you guys to all get up. And I want you to think in this room, how big would you think a right whale would be? And just think for a minute. Don't say anything. And then I think we will start measuring at a diagonal. So I am going to be the back of the right whale. So this is going to be its tail over here. So somewhere between the tail and just an imaginary line this way, how long do you think it will be? And go stand there. Everybody stand where you think it will be. Let's see. You help me pull this out. Okay. Okay. All right, so this, I'm going to pull this out. I'm going to have our assistant Hudson pull this out. And hold on. And this is the length of the right well.
What is that?
Okay. So that's how long a right well is. That's pretty long, isn't it? Could you imagine swimming with that? So walk it. Walk to where the head was and then walk back. How many feet is that? Are you coming? They're going to be exact. What did you get?
What they are doing?
They're trying to measure how many feet the whale is.
All right, what'd you get?
52.
Okay. What'd you get? Did you count? Okay. You didn't count. But it's long, right? It's really long.
I guess about 58.
Okay. Well, this well in particular is 55 feet long. So that's how long the well is swimming in the ocean. So that's pretty long. Can you roll that up for me? Okay, that's big, right? So if it is this long, how wide do you think it is? Twice the circle? Okay, can I have 2 volunteers? We are going to, up to you and you. We're going to see how wide the tail is, the fluke. So this is the fluke of a tail of the North Atlantic right well. And notice how it goes like that. But so we're going to see how wide this is, because it's about as wide as the right well is. So this is my makeshift fluke of the well. So my 2 volunteers, you want to stand up. And both of you start right here. And each of you is going to take, almost flipped you with the flipper. Okay, each of you take one of this. So this is the tail, right? So the string is going to represent how wide it is. Because guess what? It's so wide, I couldn't fit it in my car. So you take one side, you take the other, and walk that way. Let's make sure. Keep walking. Okay. So that's you can stay right there. That's how wide the tail is. So it's 55 feet long, and the tail
is less long.
the tail is this wide. So as it swims, imagine this big mammal swimming. Huge, huge. Okay. You can come back in now. I remember the first time I've read and studied all about the right whales, but when I saw how big the tail was, it's like, wow, that is really big. Oops. Okay, so now that we have a visual of how big it is, we will read the story and talk about some of the reasons of why the right whale is endangered. Okay. So, Hudson, where are the, can you pass these out? I'm going to let you guys look at the book while I read, so that way you can all see it, because sometimes it's hard to see. Here you go. All right. Okay, so the name of the book is Whale Alert. Okay. Did everybody get right? Yeah, please do. You guys want one? Here you go. Can you pass some out to the back? All right. Okay. So we'll start on the first page. Kaboom! Streaks of lightning scratch the black sky as a tropical storm moves through the coastal area. Mags, my golden retriever, jumps up onto my bed. I put my arm around her and say, Mags, it's okay. Now go back to sleep. Tomorrow we sail to a barrier island for a special day. Bright and early. The next morning, Dad's voice boomed. Breakfast is ready. All hands on deck. I slide down the stairs using my sleeping bag like a toboggan. My brothers join in the race. I'm first to the kitchen. Mom gives me a hug and says, Good morning, Tidy Craddock. Just as the family holds hands, expressing thanks for the food, our cyber watch phones beep with a whale alert. Right whale spotted east of Pier 51. Reduce speed. Let's look out for these whales on our trip. We wouldn't want our boat to strike one. Arriving at the dock, Mac and his twin brother Sherlock make sure everyone puts on their life jacket. Mags, too. I set the GPS for the barrier island. Everyone boards the solar-powered sailboat. As sailing past the lighthouse, I scan the area, looking for the right whales. Your right whales. Hold up your right whale. With my binoculars. Steering past Pier 51, we head towards the barrier island. Again, I look through my binoculars. What's that I see? It's the V-shaped spout of the North Atlantic right whale. They're critically endangered and less than 500 left. Now, I'm going to stop right there for a second because guess what? When we wrote this, about 2 years ago, there was 500 whales, and now there's 400. So that's in 2 years, we've lost a lot of whales. So you can, if you want, you just know that there's less than 500, but there's only 400 right now. Just east of the pier, I see another right whale. Something really looks different about this whale's spout. Good, got the right whale. I call Savannah, my twin sister, to look. Something is wrong, says Titan. What could it be, I ask. This is a mystery. I'm calling Little Man. Little Man, come quickly, please. Little Man, help us solve this mystery. And faster than a thunderbolt, Little Man appears in a teeny tiny helicopter. He is dressed in a teeny tiny pilot jumpsuit with a teeny tiny helmet and goggles. I tell him about the mystery of the right whale's spout. He gets back in his helicopter and lifts off. Quicker than you can say whirly-burger, Little Man calls on his cyber watch phone. Tidy Craddock, the mystery is solved. The whale's mouth and flippers are entangled in fishing rope and netting. She also has her baby calf with her. Call the well rescue team. They will know what to do. I call them on my cyber watch phone. They ask how I know about the well. I tell them a man in a helicopter told me. No, I do not say how big he is because you see, only kids and dogs can see the little man. They tell me that Dr. Fondue and the rescue team are on their way. I say, thank you, ma'am. The right well is heading straight towards our sailboat. Phew, she makes a sharp turn. Now I see what little man saw. Her body is entangled in fishing rope and netting. Shortly, the rescue team arrives in their skiff. Well rescues are a complicated and dangerous operation. Just so you know, Dr. Fondue uses a specially designed cutting tool. The tool only cuts the fishing rope, but does not harm the whale. The ropes are cut. We are wildly excited to see that she is free and with her baby calf. Relieved, we sail on to the barrier island. To my surprise, the rescue team comes ashore. A group of Earth detectives on an ocean cleanup curiously gather around the team. Dr. Fondue begins. The ocean provides habitats for right whales and other marine life. However, there are man-made hazards in the ocean, like fishing rope and netting that entangles them. Each one of us can be Earth detectives and search for ways to keep the Earth blue, green, and clean. Together, we can make it better for all marine life to swim safely in their home, the sea. Just then, wampa, 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 a huge rescue helicopter circles above the freed right whale and her baby calf. And right below, I spot Little Man making teeny tiny circles in his helicopter. Then he vanishes as usual. The rescue helicopter lands on the beach. They appreciate my help so much that Meg, Savannah, and I get to ride in the helicopter. We have a perfect view of the right whale and her baby calf. After the helicopter ride, we swim back to the sailboat, reset our GPS, and set sail landward home. The end. So what happened to the right whale?
It got tangled.
It got tangled. So who knows what entangled means?
It's stuck, sort of stuck in something like rope or
Right.
fishing nets.
Yes. So luckily the right whale got out in the story, right? So we're going to look at right whales get entangled in rope that's surrounding you. Everybody look around you. This circle, this is real fishing rope that a fisherman gave me so I could bring it and show you guys. So this is, touch it, feel it, see how strong it is. It's really thick and strong, isn't it? So this rope, fishermen use this rope, and they catch different stuff that we like to eat. And sometimes animals in the ocean get stuck in it. And it wraps around them, and it's really, really hard for them to get out. It's really strong.
Can this be cut?
It can be cut with a special tool.
Scissors?
Not by scissors, maybe really, really sharp scissors, but you have to use something really sharp to cut it, because it's
Like a knife.
a really sharp knife, yeah.
Not even a
Something.
pocket knife can cut it.
No, it's got to be, because they want it to be strong, because they're pulling up tons of fish. And they're working on ways so they don't have to, they have rope that won't entangle the right whale or any marine life, but it takes people knowing that this is an issue and finding ways to help them. So one of the ways the fishermen have been working is they try to, who's had those those finger handcuffs where you stick them in and your fingers get stuck? Have you guys ever used one of those? Chinese fire
Finger traps.
finger traps.
Yeah.
Have you ever had that? So they're using these. You see how this part is a different color than this? So they're putting it in here and they're trying to make it so it releases. If a right whale swims into the rope, the pressure will release the rope and then it won't get entangled. on the well. But there's other ideas that maybe one day you guys will help think of, is how can they go fishing without any rope? Maybe ropeless fishing. People are working on that. But I'm going to give you a little visual of what it's like to be entangled. Okay? But first I'll show you what kind of happens with the right well. So these ropes are hanging in the ocean. And they've got traps for like lobsters or snow crabs. And they're hanging down here. And the right well, it swims. And then it may get caught on its flipper. And then he like tries to get it off. But he can't. He moves and it gets trapped around him like that. Because he moves around trying to get it off, but he just ends up getting more tangled. So can the right well take this off?
That doesn't have hands.
It doesn't have hands. So we're going to pretend to be right wells for a moment. So I'm just going to need a couple of volunteers who haven't had a chance. But this is you have to follow the rules. So let's see, who wants to volunteer? Somebody who hasn't before. Do you want to volunteer? Okay. Anyone else want to volunteer? You want to volunteer? Okay. And we can do this a couple of times, but first, okay. So our volunteers, come up here. And you're going to pretend to be the right well. A right well. Okay? You can set this down. And you can, I'm getting ready to do something. I'm going to put the rubber band on your hand like this. And you have to try to get the rubber band off without using your hands. So you can't use your hands. You can't rub it on your clothes or your body. You can't take it off with your teeth. Okay, because right wells don't have teeth. And we'll talk about that in a minute. And you can't really do anything, but just pretend like you're the right well, okay? So I'm going to put it on. And you guys, how long will it take her to get this off? Is it going to be pretty easy?
Forever.
Probably.
Okay, so turn around this way. Okay, so I'm going to say, so we'll put this off. Now you heard the rules? Okay, and you can't move your fingers because right wells don't have fingers. Okay? So, all right, on your mark, get set, go. Well, you can't use your fingers. You can't use your other hand because they can't reach 22 feet. What do you think? Can you get it off? No? Let's see if somebody else. How can you get it off?
Somebody else helps.
Exactly. Somebody else helps. You could only get that off if I helped you.
Can't you just take off your shoe and run?
Could a right well use its flippers? Does anybody else want to try it? You think you could do it? You know. Do you want to try it? Okay. Do you think you can do it? Okay, let's see.
See, that's hard.
All right. Okay. Oh, you can't use your fingers. You can't bend them because they don't have. Oh, you can't bend them. How can you get it off?
With you helping.
With me helping. Yeah. It's a little frustrating, isn't it? It's so frustrating. And that's how the right well, it's frustrated. It wants this off. But it can't come off until somebody helps it. And that's why we have a lot of people helping the right wells. And that's here in the, the specially designed cutting tool that you saw in the book. That's how rescuers go out. They use this really long stick. No, that's our illustrator. But, and they cut it off. And do you guys, I wanted to talk something about the baleen. So right wells don't have teeth. They have baleen. Who knows what baleen is?
It's like something that's made out of the same material as your finger.
Yes. Wow. That's impressive. Did you read about that? So have you ever seen baleen? No. Well, I have some that the New England Aquarium let me use to show you guys. And this is baleen plates.
Is it real?
It is real. And so I'll let you touch it, but be careful with it, okay? So you can all touch it very carefully. You can hold it. It's just the same stuff that's made out of your fingernails. And this is what they have instead of teeth. They don't have teeth, they have baleen, and it hangs down from the tops of their mouth, their jaw.
It's a little smaller, right?
No, it's long. Who can guess how long do you think their baleen is in their mouth? Do you want to pass it to them back there? Did you guys see?
Can I feel?
Yeah. So this one is very fragile, but you can see. This is how it's held together. So they can have 250 to 500 plates of baleen in their mouth. Yeah.
So 6
And
feet?
So, and it can get, so this is just a sample. This is not how long the baleen can get.
But it's still real.
This is real, yes, yes. So do you guys want to see that? Just be careful with this one because it is a little fragile. So these plates of baleen can go 7 feet. So 7 feet they hang. That's how big their mouth is. Pretty big, right? Huh?
I thought you were going to say 70 feet.
No, 7 feet. So I'm about 5'5", so it's still
This big.
longer. So it hangs all the way down its mouth. And the rope gets entangled in the baleen in its mouth too. It makes it really hard to get out. But they do. Did everybody get to see the baleen?
It killed me.
Yes? Yes, so all of you, since you've asked, I work with Women Working for Oceans, and one of the reasons why we are doing this is to let you guys know about the right well so you can find ways to help, because we need more people to know and to find ways about the right well. But Women Working for Oceans, they are sponsoring me, and we'll give you each a book. So you guys can take this, and you can tell others about the right well. You could take it to your classroom and read. And then I'd love it if you let me know. I live just right down the road. I could always come to read to your classes too. So if you ever want to do that, you can let me know. But I'd love for you to share it, pass it on, and let others know. But what do you think? What are some things you can do to help? I mean, it's a really big animal. Can you go rescue a right whale?
Probably not.
No, and you shouldn't. You shouldn't go rescue a right whale because it's dangerous. But you know what you can do? You can, thank you. You can write a letter to your government officials, and you can say, please help our oceans. And I have some little postcards that you can write. You can write one and send one. And also, we are going to make a poster that we will leave at the library so we can tell others. So we're going to fill this up with some of our right wells. And that's one way we can let others know about the problems. And would you guys like to watch a video? It's a simulation of a right well getting entangled.
Yeah.
Do you want to watch it?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll see if we can get it to, but we might have to be a little quiet because you can't get the sound to work, but you can.
Here.
See, it goes in there and then it starts to roll, thinking it can get it off. So, and then it just swims and it swims. They, sometimes they swim all the way from Boston waters or even Canada waters, and they swim all the way down to Florida with this rope on it. So,
Does the boat move too?
it's not attached to a boat. It just floats in the rope just floats in the water. So this floats, and this is on top of the water. And then the cages are down here, and it floats. And so there's nobody here, because the fishermen come back, and they'll bring it up
How they
later.
go back?
How did they go back? How did the fishermen go back?
So they throw it there, and how they get it back?
Yeah, then they come back. They know where they leave these, and then they come back and they check them to see if they caught any fish.
They go on a boat to get
They go on a boat to get them. So that's why these are just left for all marine life. Not just right whales, but all marine life can get entangled in these. But the right whales, they're critically endangered. So that's why we need to come up with some new technologies to do this. And we need everybody's support. Do you have any other questions?
Is there anything right now that, like, is an alternative to this? Is it a lack of funding, or is
It's
it?
a lack of funding. It's a lack of just really investment. It's hard. I went out with lobstermen last year because they don't want to hurt the animals, because we need we need the ocean to work together. You know, it needs to work in harmony. So they're trying. They would like to, but it's super expensive, and they need new technology. And there are a lot of people working on the new technology, but they need more funding. And that's why we're writing these letters to say, please invest in ropeless fishing gear. Because, you know, people do eat fish. And it's just like we need to learn new ways to catch it. Because the fishing industry hasn't changed forever. They're doing the same thing they've been doing for thousands of years.
And like salmons?
And I'm sorry, what?
Salmons?
Salmon's a fish, yeah. Did you have a question?
If the rope actually has some sort of a sound effect, would they actually know and then kind of get away around it?
You know, I don't know. I haven't heard about sound. I know they changed the color. They've done different rope color because they found out that right whales and certain see things in the ocean depending on the color, so they changed the color. But it's just, I mean, there can be so many, and it's kind of, you know, really hard. But I don't know if they've checked sound. I don't know if that hasn't been one of the things I've heard.
Actually, I was wondering, because don't whales use echolocation?
Yes.
So wouldn't, like, if they put something on it that the whale could
Yeah.
sense before?
The only thing, if you're putting more sound in the ocean, that's also an issue because it's sound pollution. So then it can break their, you know, when they're trying to talk to each other, if there's other sounds coming. But, you know, this is why we need good conversation and to spark new ideas. But that's one of the other issues facing them right now is also sound pollution, because then they can't communicate to each other. So, yeah. Do you guys want to, so we're gonna work on the poster, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna go, oh, one thing I did not mention, which is, I can't believe it. This is how you know right whales, like individual markings, just like your fingerprints. They have individual markings on the top. These white things are callosities, and they grow, and each one is individual. So that's how they know. Right whales all have a number and a name. And they know that because each whale is different. This one I haven't. We should name it. What should we name it? Whaley? Whaley? Okay, this is Whaley. But yeah, so this will be his marking. But so what we're going to do is make our own right whales, and you can make a couple if you want to take one home, or you can leave it on the poster. But so we'll make one, we'll put the V-shaped spout. We are going to put our thumbprints on it and make our own callosities. And so that way it'll be just like the right well, individual to whatever, to who you are. Okay, so we'll go do that over at the table. If you guys want to go over, we got some. Yeah, they can. Yeah. Okay, so we'll go over here.
It looks like it has.
You pick that up. You guys want to go over here, Marisa?
Can I have two?
No.
One on.
Oh, yeah, you can have
No.
two.
Okay, yeah, you can have more than one. So take, this one will be to take home.
This one. This one's
So get one that doesn't have markings on it
Okay.
to take home.
So yeah, just grab a right well, and then
Can I take this one?
we're just going to use your thumb.
So get a V
And
shape.
so this is, okay. Now you can glue your V shape down on or tape it. The tape sometimes works a little better, but this is, so it should be like this. So, yes, perfect. And then you guys do that there. Yeah, just put it however you want. Make it yours. Yeah. So if you purchase one, they give money to research and funding for the right well. Yeah. So, oh yeah, it's the.
No, it's okay.